Welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast, where I talk about research, note taking, personal knowledge management, and learning how to learn. My name is Bianca Pereira, and now our goal here is just to start a conversation. So I'm literally thinking out loud. In the last episode, we talked about the different types of autonomy. But what is autonomy? And that's what we reflect in today's episode. Hi, this is another Thinking Out Loud video. Last time we talked about the types of autonomy, but then comes the questions like, what is autonomy? It was nice we were talking a little bit about that in the introductions. There are a lot of things nice in the introduction as well. So just how I think about it, autonomy is a continuous. Okay, it's not like I have autonomy or I don't have autonomy. Of course, I can have like zero. Well, it's hard to think about zero autonomy when it comes with intellectual autonomy. We always like decide unless you don't have the ability to think anymore. Yeah, yeah. But I like to think as a continuous. So let's put it like this. So you have a continuous here. And I like to think like there is something which is like freedom. So let me just move things outside here. Yeah. So there is freedom on one side, which like just this desire to, I don't know, I do whatever I want. That freedom is like I do whatever I want. I would do intellectual freedom, for example. I do whatever I want intellectually. I believe in whatever I wish. But it's kind of freedom comes somewhat like in my definition comes with a feeling of I don't have responsibility over it. I just do whatever I want and I don't need to be responsible or accountable for that to anyone. Okay. So it's like the outside world needs to deal with me because I don't care. It's like it's just total freedom. I do whatever I want. Which is very similar to kind of what it comes here the other side, the idea of sovereign. So I don't even know how to write this. Sovereignty. It's probably wrong, but but bear with me. Sovereignty, I don't know. Yeah, something like this. It's kind of like this idea of I choose whatever I want to do, and but is it in a way it's different from freedom. Is like I do whatever I want, and I just don't care about what they want to say. Where sovereignty is like I have overall power for whatever I do. It's like it's not that the word doesn't have any power over me, which is like very utopic. Like that's not how life works. Okay, yeah. So the idea of sovereign, like even like you think like the old kings, like from old times, technically they could do whatever they want. They can choose whatever they want. They have like total power. Let's say it's never really like that. There are always people, yeah, moderating them. But that's the idea of sovereignty. Like intellectual sovereignty, like I have total power to decide. Like I have no external influence, which doesn't exist anyway. And then I see kind of autonomy sits somewhere here in the middle, which is basically some level of is freedom with responsibility. So it's like it's a living in the environment, kind of like that our environment shapes what we think. We get ideas, we bounce ideas each other. Sometimes I borrow some what someone believes and I think about that, I believe it at first and then I start playing with those ideas and I start question, so that's kind of like this. There is this kind of line, freedom, sovereignty. So it's kind of like there is a these those there is no responsibility on those, and here kind of there is responsibility. Yeah, but there's no like total freedom. It's a kind of a moderate way of seeing things. And as I say, autonomy is kind of like a continuum. You can have low autonomy, super duper autonomy, but it's always in a context. The context is relevant, right? The context influences us. So it's basically us navigating the environment. Okay. And there is another one, which I always forget the name that I gave to that. I always think it's self-reliance, but that's not what I'm talking about. There is self something. I give it the name as soon as I find my notes. What the idea here is that self-determination. Yeah, determination. Okay, it's similar to autonomy in the sense like I have the decision-making power to think. Let's say having my beliefs and stuff like that. or to do whatever it is. Self-determination is more like I have a goal. Like this is a goal that I decide for. It's almost like this is my North Star, but not North Star as in an intention or a direction, but it's like this is my purpose in life. My purpose in life, and I have the power to fulfill my purpose or to go in the direction of my purpose. Whereas in autonomy, there's no need for a purpose, like a pre-established purpose. It's like I'm figuring out what my purpose is as I walk the path. Okay, it's more like we can think about this one as have purpose, so the purpose guide thing, which are like I don't think that's possible, to be honest. So this is like have purpose, and this one is give purpose. Okay, so he's like many people's like, oh, I need to find my purpose in life. I will find my purpose and then I will go in that direction. Okay, whereas here is like I have no clue whatsoever what's my purpose, but I can think like in a short term, how, like, what is it that I'm running away from? What is it that I'm going towards? In which direction go? So like I'm giving purpose to the things I'm doing right now, rather than expecting to find a purpose, define a purpose so that I can move. So this we move and we find purpose and we give purpose to the things we do as we go. Okay. Yeah. We just live this, we live life. This we wait until we have things figured out to live life. Okay. So in a way, like those are all related. So that's what I think the direction of autonomy. So there is kind of like in this axis here. Well, let's think about axis now. So this one is kind of like no care about the external world, and this one, the external world has an impact. Okay, this has purpose. This doesn't require like a predefined purpose. So in a way, freedom doesn't have a purpose. I have full freedom. I don't even know what I want to do. I don't care. Where sovereignty, maybe you can say there is a purpose. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe all those three here are like no purpose. And this Derek one, it's like, oh, this is my purpose. Yeah. Let me know what are your thoughts about it, if it just makes sense at all. And so that's kind of what I have been thinking. But as you can see, I don't have a picture that kind of really map them. I map them in this way, but yeah, it's almost, yeah. There is like a progression. So freedom, autonomy, self-determination, sovereignty in a way. Or how much decision-making power we have in, I don't know. There's kind of like this, but not. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. The Thinking Out Loud podcast is a spin-off of the Thinking Cafe, a home for independent learners who wants to build the skills, the systems, and the practice of intellectual autonomy. So if you want to engage in more discussions about the topics that we are talking about here and have access to exclusive Think Out Loud episodes, just join us at thinkingcafe.co. I hope to meet you there.